definitely understand what the sensors talking to each other, and then when we make changes to the ECU, it will react accordingly.
I want to ask a question. If you were to flash your reFlash your ECU, why would you do that? And why you will not do that?
Okay, so when Toto does his ECU reprogramming or flashing, he will always consider the objectives of the user. Is it number one for performance? Is it to get rid of an issue that it may be facing? Or for, let's say, very new models on the market, sometimes they come out of the factory, the first batch of users, second batch of users are like the guinea pigs, open market testing. These guys, they may face some issues. Maybe it's an ABS, maybe it's a ignition timing problem, something like that, or the quick shifter with the auto blipper. So his way of doing things or his knowledge in assessing those parts of the map can actually help us reduce or get rid of certain such issues. Yeah. So hope that answers your question.
Okay, so what issue?
Like I think some of us, what we actually face recently after like clocking maybe 20-30,000 km on our bike models, right? The Kawasaki's, for example, they are starting to surface some ABS issues, interference with your clutch play. So as we know, our bikes, everything being controlled by the ECU, the brain, the moment one thing is down, the ABS sensor, the moment is down as a speed sensor as well. Your quick shifter gives issue, your traction control gives issue, everything will follow. So being able to access the fault codes through these softwares, it tells you precisely what is wrong. You can either, then do a very surgical elimination of the problem, or like the old school method, you go one big round, which one is more costly? Of course, the surgical method is better, you save so much money. Or it can be a simple thing as we realize that, it's actually a false reading. So we just clear off the code and then that's it.
Okay, so when you want to flash your motorcycles, you actually do this based on a proper diagnosis and thoughts that this will be good for your engine.
Yes, definitely. Objectives and then the process from there.
Many people also has been quite confused. What is the difference between a dyno and reFlash of the ECU?
Okay, to make it simple, the most easiest way, dyno is basically a gauge, a tool that we use to check horsepower, check torque, and check the fuel AFR. AFR means the air-fuel ratio. Okay, the dyno itself doesn't do anything. The dyno is just reading, just tell me what's the performance of the engine.
Oh, it doesn't tune or what?
It doesn't tune. So once you
sorry to interrupt, but like what I see sometimes in the YouTube, they like macam faham, as if they are the one tuning again, then read again, or maybe they have another laptop to tune at the same time they dyno.
No. What they do is basically, as a tuner, we use the dyno graph to make surgical changes within the fuel system or within the ignition system to actually make the retuning back.
So dyno is a measuring tool.
Yes.
Then reFlash is when you see you need to improve on the graph.
Yes.
Then that's where flashing comes in.
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. So that's the main difference lah.
Main difference.
Can we coexist without one another? Let's say now I do dyno only. Do I have the same performance as a bike who is already flash?
You would, if the bike are all similar.
Okay, let's say same models.
Yeah.
Then one bike go for dyno, one bike go for your reFlash. So we come out to the road, same rider skills. Any difference?
So if the dyno, the dyno is being used to make the changes. If let's say the person who has the same bike use the dyno and then never tune anything, you will not make any changes. But once we have the dyno information or the data that we use that data to actually make the changes inside the ECU.
Oh, I see. Alright.
So to make everything clear also is that the inputs from the dyno are the one that we use to change the system either in an ECU or either with a piggyback system or even with an external system that we use to make changes. It can be mechanical, it can be electronically as well.
Oh,
Yep.
when you mentioned that, I remembered last time we used to have power commander, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the piggyback
Correct.
system.
Correct.
Then the bike somehow or other improves.
Yes. So to clear the understanding, basically the flashing of ECU is basically going into the ECU and change the parameters of the ECU, while the piggyback system still uses the ECU and then use another hardware to actually manipulate the signal from the ECU, from the engine or the sensors to the ECU. So it's like faking the system. For example, if the original bike use a 50cc fuel output, when you put a piggyback system, the piggyback system will tell the ECU that it's actually not 50cc, it's actually 10cc. So the ECU will still pump in more to make that become 50cc.
Okay.
So it's basically tricking the ECU out. Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
So that's about what it was before, and now we are more precise because we can go into the system and do our own parameters.
Correct. To put up to that, the piggyback system is still there outside in the industry. It's one of the first few systems that we have before we can even put inside the flashing. So flashing is being around for a long time as well, but piggyback is much more stable and much more well researched. For example, power commander and rapid bike, and these are all piggyback systems that they use. But the setback about this piggyback system is that you have to have additional modules or additional hardwares to make changes within the ECU parameters.
What are the changes?
The changes, for example, ignition, you need to change the ignition timing and so forth. You need to use a specific ignition module. For example, if you've got 2 injectors in your bike, right, which most big bikes have, generally the primary injectors can be changed, but the secondary injectors you need additional module to do the secondary fuel changes. So add-ons to to all this hardware on the piggyback system. While on the ECU itself, you can make all the changes within the ECUs, and then there are cases where you can change the fan temperature. Okay, fan temperature, for example.
Fan temperature? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah.
Fan temperature or when the fan activates? Or when the fan activates?
So generally it's the temperature for you to activate the fan. Okay, so if on I would say piggyback system, you cannot have that option.
We cannot have the option.
You won't have the option.
It's more fixed already lah.
It's fixed. You only change the fuel, you change the ignition, you change the secondary fuel, and so forth. Or even using dongles or so forth to trick the ECU if let's say you take out the O2 sensors or take out the servos. While on the ECU flash, you have all these options within that ECU itself because everything is in the ECU. So you activate, deactivate, or change the temperature to activate the fan. With the fact that we understand that the engine has a very optimum temperature to follow.